Okay. So we have 8 minutes left. Emily, as a diasporic voice, how do you imagine the conversation between the ancestors and contemporary Black creatives like yourselves evolving across borders and generations?
It's another big question, Mama.
So if you're sitting down with the ancestors, what would the conversation be like? Would they be saying, we're proud of you, and
Yeah.
not just you in particular, but
Mm,
our current generation of authors
mm.
and poets?
Yeah. I think there is a sense that we have, as probably, I imagine both Andrew and I, if our great grandmothers saw us now, would feel that we are, continuing with an important role as educators and storytellers and continuing that legacy. But also, I think that I am in many ways a kind of breaker of boundaries, and a tester of boundaries. And I think there's all sorts of ways in which they would find me far too rebellious in terms of my ideas on gender and sexuality. And I'm not I would probably not be seen as, in France they say sois sage, which means, it means be good, but it also means kind of be be quiet, be boundaried, sit still. So I think they'd have a really hard time on their hands with me.
Well,
And
they did not sit still though, or we wouldn't
no,
be
but
here.
I would be, they are, my elders would still expect a huge amount of deference, and respect, and just knowing how much trouble I gave my grandfather just by being a rebellious little girl. I think, but I think at the heart of it, that also, that spirit and that rebellion is also admired quietly. But when it comes to children and grandchildren, they want to
A
pretend,
particular type of behavior.
Yeah,
You have
yes,
to you have
yeah.
to toe the line. In Jamaica, I was called a piss and tail gal by my aunts, which just means you're piss and tail. I'm not sure how I can explain that. Maybe Monica could chime in, and it means
That you're out of order.
you're out, like it's like you're smelling
You're
yourself the
not
way.
keeping within the lines.
Yes.
You're
Yes,
not
yeah.
keeping within the borders, the restrictions that they put up for us.
And this
So
started from very
you're
early, and
being
I would
rude,
imagine myself
and
having a
that is
tail
an
or
extreme,
something.
and that's an
Yes.
extreme way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
I'd
was
love to make two comments whenever it's time.
Yes, please. We're at that stage now. We're
Yes,
wrapping up.
right. All right, Andrew, I just loved your last point. I I'm
Thank you.
also very interested in your innovative poems and your futuristic poems, but when you get into family, it's as if you just bring me very close. And I just like to tell you that so you can, when you're working, you can feel it for yourself. But
Yeah, thank you.
I was just brought in a while ago and I could just hug you.
Aw.
Look, there's a lot of when I write about that, especially my house, it's very
Yeah.
evocative because I did not realize just how lucky I was at the time, and I was kind of fighting against all that. So when I
The
go back
emotion,
to
what
that,
you got in that poem was the richness of the emotion as well as the words. You're using the
yeah,
emotions and it was just really good, really, really
thank
good.
you.
The others, I mean, I could say other things, but you and I could have a discussion. um,
Yeah,
I believe that, as always, you're super talented. So that goes without saying.
well, thank
And
you so much.
I always enjoy your work. So
Thank
continue.
you.
And Emily, I just had a question for you, not in full agreement with what something you said about when you say your students, you tell your students, like when your students say they give voice to.
Mm.
And you just now said when you were talking
Oh,
about
did I say that?
Yeah, wait, no, you just said Andrew brings voice, where he's using it, the orality. So it's something that is said all the time. It's an acknowledgement. It's a contribution. It's our way of saying we are interpreting how they should feel, and I understand the little,
But however, though,
Yes. No,
you're
I'm just
talking
saying I
about,
understand when she says it, but I just want to make a distinction that sometimes it is the easiest thing to say because we want to bring it, this oral
I
position
think
forward. Mm-hmm.
I think yeah, I think that I totally agree, and I think in that it's often used, and why I try and get my students to think about it is more, I suppose, because they're not necessarily coming from within the culture, and if
Okay,
they
okay.
say
yes,
that what they
that
are
was my
trying to do,
understanding.
yeah, they say I
Yes,
am giving voice to Black women through
Oh, you
this.
mean they're not within the
yes,
whole
Yeah,
family, or it's
yes,
not
yeah.
that
yes,
they're giving? Oh,
yes,
well, they can't give
yes.
voice to Black people at all.
Yeah, by doing my
Okay.
study on Black
Oh,
poetry,
okay.
I am helping to
Or
Yes.
give
whatever.
voice to,
Right,
yeah.
right,
And
right.
so then I say,
Okay.
well, it's not yours to give, you know?
No, that's different. Okay, I didn't
Yeah,
Yeah,
understand.
yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
That
yeah,
was my
Yeah.
understanding. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yes,
Yeah. But
yes.
So,
again, I enjoyed your poems, and I love the Anansi, the first one,
oh,
where it is Anansi
And
as
Nancy
mother,
women.
right? Mother, and that
yes.
back-breaking work. It was so graphic and so special. And I was thinking that it was almost like ekphrasis, an ekphrastic poem, because if you could visualize this Anansi working as a
Yeah.
woman working,
Yes,
and at
yeah,
the
yeah.
same time you see the
Weaving.
yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So I
And
think
and you
it is.
thank you,
It's really
Monica.
a powerful one. I think that's really a powerful poem. I would love to see it in writing, but I'll wait for the book to come out. When is it
Yes.
coming out? When is it coming?
It's coming out in October, and there's a poem in it that you did a workshop for People Tree, didn't
Yes,
you?
yes, yes.
And we looked at a Kamal Brathwaite poem,
Right, right. I did.
right? I actually I was going to read that tonight. It's the one that I wrote in response to your prompt,
Yes, yes,
because
yes.
you gave us a prompt to write. It's words need love too,
Okay,
and yeah, I don't know
okay.
if you remember that, but
Yes, I remember. I remember
yeah.
well.
So
Well.
I've written. So one of the poems in my book
Hmm.
is from your prompt, and it's about my
Okay,
grandfather.
okay.
I
I'm
need
looking
milk
forward.
too.
So
Yeah.
we're looking forward. So we're both being published in the same year. Yes,
Ah, that's cause for
okay.
Yes. So
celebration.
each of you each, Andrew, you have a new collection coming out as
Oh
well?
yeah, that was that Capan logo finally made it into this collection. It was meant to be going into a collection called Childish Recollections, but I'll call it Childish Wrangles with the publisher, because that one's been about 5 years in the making. But
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
who
remember
knows?
that when you started, you
Yeah,
mentioned that. I thought that was published. So
yeah.
I have let's wrap up. I know it's like midnight for Emily. I wanted to do you have any other comments or questions, Monica?
No. I just wanted to say thank you, and as always, these are two of my favorite poets. So
Oh,
I
Yes.
truly, that's why,
Yes.
I made sure I tuned in because I wanted to
Yes.
experience. Because
And they're
what I also
excellent.
find is normally sometimes one word triggers a poem too. And
Yes.
yeah, so,
it's lovely to have. It was really lovely to have you here, Monica, knowing that
yes,
you were listening, and
yes,
Yes.
and to have
it's beautiful,
yeah, really
beautiful. And
appreciate
I
that.
just enjoy the space. So thank
Mm,
you.
yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thank you, Emily and Andrew, for tapping into the ways in which we can revolutionize our ancestry in this very profound and poetic way. The conversation has really been
Mm,
inspiring, profound, and thought-provoking as well. So there are some ideas now that I will go on to explore in my own work, especially the idea that Black consciousness as it evolves across the globe, across time, how Emily, you connected to your grandfather and his work and his place of origin, and Andrew going across the ocean from Europe to Africa to Australia. There is so much depth and wealth there, that is worth investigating. So thank you both for modeling for us what ancestral work is and can be, because you've both suggested how that there's work for us in moving forward, and there are specific ways in which we can move forward. And one is inserting ourselves within academia and insisting on these different forms and formats and procedures in conducting research and giving voice to who we are and what we're about. So thank you so much. If each of you would like to end with a poem or just a comment, you may do that, and then we'll say our goodbyes.
Okay. I first of all, I'd like to end with just a thank you, a huge thank you to you, Marva. I was just reminiscing with Andrew about, how all those Zooms we had through the pandemic and what a lifeline they were, and what a wonderful
Yes.
space you created, and his real labor of love, and especially memorable when we tuned into the Queen of the Maroons, up in
Yes,
a little
yes,
house in Jamaica and up into, it was an
yes.
incredible experience. But you took us, we were trapped in our houses, but you really connected us globally through this Strung in a Broken Places, and you're still creating a really invigorating and kind of wonderful space where you ask also difficult questions, or not just difficult questions, but questions which make us think a bit outside the box and make us think critically. And I really appreciate that. So I'm just
Thank
going
you.
to, I really do. And I'm going to just end with it's a kind of nice poem, really, but it's about Mammy Water. So our, sort of
Your
African
grandmother?
mermaid.
Yes.
No,
Oh,
Mammy Water, and imagining her in the pool in the river where I swim, and I always do this cold water swimming, as you know. So I was thinking that Mammy Water and different incarnations of Mammy Water as different kind of mermaid figures as well around the world, and how they've been co-opted by men, and how exhausted she must be, and how in need of a break. So it's called Come, Mammy Water. Come, Mammy Water, charmer of serpents, calmer, with water cool hands, siren signaler of sailor death, middle passage guardian, womb space warden, healer of diasporic agony. I see you man-strung, tired, dragged to the surface of boiling seas. Come, you are safe in my slipstream, of this girl river swimmer, daughter of land, at home in Yorkshire waters. Come, many-faced African woman fish, push upriver from grey northern seas with migrating salmon energy. You'll find me. I'll adorn your riverbank bower with marsh marigolds, waxy silver lilies. My son will fish you minnow suppers. I'll show you where the otters play. You can stroke their shining muscled pelts. Come, crowned with cow parsley, come rest in my pool, lying on your back, river currents like a lover tickling your knotted spine. Watch a mango ripe sun pour golden over the wharf.
Andrew?
Okay, can I just say, guys, I was the first time I ever, because I'm feeling, the reminiscence. The first time I did the Strung in the Broken Places, I'd had one email with you, Marva, and I'd looked at that
Mm-hmm.
magazine, Samia Beng, and it was an amazing moment where I thought, wow, someone's put in the masthead a connection between, you know, African, Caribbean, and you had the Aboriginal in there, and it
Yeah.
was manna from heaven that someone was thinking about uniting, you know, these traditions, which was amazing. I then read the magazine online. I read Emily's poem, which I thought was amazing. I did my stalking of people in terms of, you know, what had you written, and you know, at this stage, I don't think I'd written. I hadn't published any poetry collections or anything, and then Monica came along to one of these Strong in the Broken Places. I heard her work. I did my social media stalking of her amazing publishing as well. So I'd like to say a massive thank you that you've actually allowed me in, because I felt like a proper sort of gatecrasher to proceedings, and you just opened up a lot of possibilities of, I think more recently, you know, how I might go a little bit further with analyzing the work or putting it into an academic context as well. So you're
Mm-hmm.
amazing inspirations for me. So thank you so much, and just, you know, the
Yeah.
warmth that we got, and my mum coming along to that first.
Yes, I remember your mom coming on.
Oh, that
Yeah,
was so lovely.
yeah. I
Yes.
mean, I'm
Comfort.
going to be in the UK in October, hopefully. So I'll let you know, Emily, and
Yes,
hopefully we can.
if you come up north, you know, you can
Yeah,
come and you're absolutely. Are you coming
yeah.
with your mum?
Actually, I probably will. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, you're welcome to come and stay. We've got a spare
yeah.
room
Wow, amazing.
in
Thank you
Oh,
so
how
much.
Italy.
So, yeah,
sweet.
that would be amazing. So yeah, just thank you. You've opened up a lot of kind of possibilities. So that's fantastic. I've got one poem, if I could wrap up
Okay.
with that. Is that all right? Um,
Mm.
so this one is called Nicholas Knits, and you're sort of talking about how to, you know, moving forward, and you know, how do you write that kind of culture? And there's a fashion designer I absolutely love called Nicholas Daly, and he has Scottish Jamaican ancestry. He's from the Midlands originally, and just his ability in his fashion collections to literally weave these traditions of Scottish tweed, but mixing that with the, you know, the oversized tams.
Arts and stuff.
I just find it incredible the work he does in kind of exploring traditions, but coming up with something that's really different as well. So I'm going to just read my poem for Nicholas, if that's all right. So Nicholas knits for Nicholas Daly. Nicholas knits his brow as a needle weaves rare reggae groove tartan pleats, Sligo, Deutopolis, and Jamrock sporran, polysemic tapestries of knowledge. Return like Kufei, the master tailor, stitching Kintsugi Kente threads, tartan clans, Ebo red and Akan gold sets, sewn to transatlantic angles, checker, chessboard, narrative, strangle, holds on middle passage ships, limbo, Anansi syndrome uplifts. He sews dub pressed rock steady, pedals red clay messages, faint freckles join the lost continents of Afro-Celtic textures, trust in Harris tweed, weave matrilines, Sunday trilbies at Tilbury Dock, land lime green suits and smiles, the maroon highland ancestors rise, skank, strathspey and reel bobbing to dots, snap, accent, staccato rhythm, melody smooth to each sweet hybrid beat. Scots craft, Carib cool in Japanese dye, hand spinning yarns by the spindle eye. The dread Afro picks history's tidal rivers, Anansi's web and flow, Jah, Rastafari, a crown of unswirled dreads, twist heavy threads. Let's Congos wrapped like a Hindu holy man, Sadhu bandaged in Turin shrouded tam. Oshanta, one loose dread hangs at the back and forms a rainbow bright Renaissance clan. So that's
Nice.
for my favorite fashionista there.
I love it. Have you sent it to him?
I haven't
Thank
actually.
you.
You must send it to him. You deserve a free outfit for that. You can wear it to the next Strong in the Broken Places.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Emily and Andrew, thank you. I looked forward to this and I have immensely enjoyed it. Thank you for some of the thought-provoking ideas that you pushed out there. I'm always inspired and to go on and do further research and writing when I have these kind of engagements with you guys. Your poetry, the conversation, everything was like that ancestral drumbeat, steady, just reminding us of our history and our